Hello and welcome to Trojans Live. And our new guest here is Nike Agunbiade. How'd I do?
Did very well.
Okay, I've been practicing all
Good job,
day.
Jordan.
Don't make me say it again. She is the Pac-12 champion in the 3 meter. And actually right now she's joining us from NCAA qualifying. What do you call it? Zones?
Zone championships, yes.
Zone championships. So she's still on the path towards the national title. And, you know, listen, we just, Nike, we just finished Black History Month, the month of February. And at the end of it, I thought it was pretty cool that you became the first Black diver in USC history to win a Pac-12 title. You literally lived the slogan, Black History in the making. You know, what does something like that mean to you? I mean, obviously the achievement of winning the Pac-12 and then also to break that ground.
You know what? It means a lot to me. It wasn't something that was in the back of my mind necessarily, because it's kind of hard to find the history of like diving and like further back. And so I didn't actually realize that I was the first African-American diver in USC history to win until until USC Athletics posted it. So that was the first time that I had like saw that, and like seeing that, it was a shock and a great pride in like what I could achieve for people like me, for minorities, and how they can do well in sports. And so it meant a lot to me to be the first. Yeah.
Obviously a huge freshman year, and now you get to lock in your first, your Pac-12 diving title there. What was that feeling like? Just securing that, taking away the African-American side of it, but just for yourself, what was it like for you to feel that winning the crowning achievement in your sport?
I still think it like hasn't really sunk in. Maybe because we're still in season and haven't really had a break.
Because you're still, you're in a hotel room battling right now.
Yeah. So I think during the meet, I was just like, I just got to do the next dive. Just keep doing well. Just keep doing what I know. And after the fact, obviously, like it was a great moment, but I just, I was like speechless, and I didn't like really process it. I think that'll have to wait like a month or so when season's over, because everything's like back to back. But
give us your origin story. How'd you get into diving?
So actually I started in gymnastics. So I did that.
It feels like it feels like something that probably happens. They're pretty similar, right?
It happens a lot. A lot of like my gymnastics teammates were actually in the club that I had joined later. So I started that, I think, in middle school, but I didn't start competing, I guess, at like the national level until high school, which is somewhat late because that's like when you start recruiting for colleges. And it actually started because once I had quit gymnastics, my parents were like, okay, you got to do something. My family like were really active, and it just didn't work for me to not be doing something in addition to school. And so diving was like another outlet for me. Helped me do better in school, actually, because when I stopped gymnastics, I had like so much time and I didn't know what to do with it. So like diving was kind of like saving my grades, saving a lot of things, like giving me another safe space outside of school to de-stress, to get away from, because I went to like a kind of highly competitive high school. They weren't really into sports. They were very into arts, academics, and stuff like that. And so having a different outlet was very like mentally healthy for me. And so that's, I think, where diving was really important for me.
Nike, when I watch diving, it's not for the faint-hearted. I mean, there's a level, probably a level of fear that you have to conquer. Was there ever a level of fear for you, and how, if so, how did you conquer the fear to continue diving at those levels that you have conquered?
Um,
You weren't scared. Just
it's
you could
hard
just say
to
I'm
say.
scared. I'm scared for you.
It's hard to say, because I actually never really had a fear of heights or anything like that. And they like in training, they do very well in like building you up, so you're getting used to the heights at a like a slow rate. So it's been a long time since I've been like really, really afraid of doing a dive. So I don't actually remember how to get over it.
Did you ever just miss one and just flop it out like I always do?
I have. I
Oh,
did one last
Yeah, I
year.
mean that has to hurt, and you're doing so many that are blind too. I mean, anything that goes wrong in the timing, I assume you hit the water in a very uncomfortable way.
Yeah, I had one last year during training that I actually smacked flat on my stomach, and my teammates had to pull me out because I had passed out.
Yeah, this is why I would be afraid. I
yeah.
think Sean's
This is
question
why
is
I'm
valid.
fearful for you.
Totally valid. So we're giving me at least a B plus on pronouncing your name in the intro, but I would imagine the way that you've shortened it and spell it, most people call you Nike. Is that
Yeah.
something that happens to you constantly?
Yes, a lot. I did have a meet where they called me Nike for half of it.
Yes, I would
Which is
assume so.
fun.
Sean, trivia question. Nike is the Greek goddess of what?
Diving.
Victory.
Oh man, I thought I had that
I
one.
think it still works. I think there's still something to, you ended up at a Nike school, it's Nika, and it's probably going to drive you insane that people do that all the time, but I think it still works. There's still victory in there.
Just got to do it.
Just do it. Exactly
There it
right.
is. Nika,
Go ahead, Sean.
I just wanted to ask about Olympic aspirations. Obviously, you're still a sophomore, young in your collegiate career, but obviously, you're thinking there's got to be in the back of your mind one day those Olympic aspirations. What's the timetable for that? What does that look like in the future, and what Olympics might you be shooting for?
Let's see. Well, so I qualified for trials for 2020, 2021.
Yes.
So I'm planning
this
on
summer.
going to those trials, but I personally think I'm not at a level to be at the Olympics yet. So I think I think my coach and I were shooting for 24 again. We'll see what happens. Maybe it won't, maybe it will. I mean, it's top 2 in the country. That's a very low percentage. So
well, we know one thing. You're fearless. Sean and I are scaredy cats. It's a good thing you're up there on the diving board.
I still got a nice
we are
backflip, Jordan.
Thank you for joining Trojans Live. Good luck this week at NCAA Zones.